2 now. Okay, we can say day 2 of our training. So here we are going to see some more detailed concepts of Swift. Okay, Swift. When I say Swift, the some more understanding about what is Swift, what is the concepts of Swift, how big is form, how the netting happen, bilateral netting. Okay, that kind of concept we'll see. Okay, this may be a short today. Okay, we will not extend for 1 hour total, but I want to continue on daily basis so you can gradually learn more things in the less time. All right. Okay. So when I say Swift, right, Swift payment always happen in CBPR mode, means cross-border payment reference. So whenever we are leaving the country's network, so country's network is the border, right? So whenever leaving the border of the any country, then only you are able to visualize that the payment is processing or not. Okay, so that's a basic concept around it, how we are processing it. Okay, so that's the basic motive around it, how we are processing the payment. All right. So bank used to communicate via fax phone before Swift, whether your payment has reached securely or not. Okay, so we are talking about it merely and 40 or 30 40 years before, I'm saying. So but in 1973, 239 banks, okay, 239 banks in the world of 15 countries come together. Initially, only 13 banks come together. 13 banks in Belgium and nearby Europe area. They come together and thought to build, but laterally more than 239 bank. I'm saying in 1973. Now almost 95% of the bank in the world are connected by Swift network. Almost they are using the Swift formula only worldwide. Okay, so total more than 11,000 institutions are joined by the Swift network. So by this you can understand that how Swift is very much important in payment transaction now. So that's more and more importance of Swift gives now. Okay, if you remember Priya or who I joined here, when US has put sanction on Russia for not stopping the war, they have applied a Swift sanction as well once. Okay, so applying Swift sanction, their economy was almost stopped for some months because they are not able to send and money by network from their selling the oil and crude oil. Okay, so such a importance is there of Swift network. Okay, the next is whenever Swift payment has been connected, Swift network is connected by other countries or other bank institution, it is called SwiftNet. SwiftNet, Swift network, short form, very easy, right? Swift network. Swift network is a secure IP protocol which almost they have made in such a secure way that nobody can hamper it, can tamper it till date. There is no incidents happens in the world that Swift networks, for example, that okay, now don't consider that small payment of £1,000 and £10,000 and 10,000 euros and dollars like that. Consider the bigger amounts when bank is sending this amount to other banks or in the other world. So there is a million and million, right? So there is no such incidents happen that somebody hacked it, because that's encryption and decryption happen in the Swift network, and it is very much secure protocol as they mention here. Okay, even I have not heard this anywhere any time that nobody has hacked a Swift network. That's why Swift network is very much okay. By the way, the discussion which is we are done till here, it is only for knowledge purpose. It will not happen any that even nobody going to discuss with you about this one about client side. It's only for knowledge purpose here. Okay, next one is already we have discussed till we are revision one more time that what is Swift code, what is the big code. Okay, it's because Swift is nothing but you identify your branch, your bank in the world. Okay, so for example, if you are paying HDFC 66607, means it is a branch in somewhere in Mumbai. Okay, Mumbai, Kurla, Bandra, something like that. So in the same way, the Swift network has been identified with the uh, with some terminology, some naming convention here. So that's why if you see here, it's mentioned HDFC and the HDFC 66607. For example, here there is a bank code SBIN. SBI means it's a bank name. It's State Bank of India. In means India, two letters. BB01. This is a branch code. This is the area code. Okay, US. So SBI in US is also another one big code. So each and every line has some meaning in this. In Swift network, or we are going to learn now after this IBAN network, or we are going to learn country specific addresses. Each and every word, each and every number has some significance. For example, here a Deutsche Bank is mentioned, is that DEUT, first four character is always the bank name, Deutsche Bank. Then next two letter is the country code, country is Germany. Next it is written as SS, means head office branch, head office SS, and next one is a 648 branch. Okay, so whenever you are sending payment with a bank, okay, one more thing. Now if you are not giving your bank account number also, your payment will come and lie in this bank. Okay, so this is a method where we can send a payment. So for example, you are sending payment from India, and you only have given this branch code or this big code, then your payment will come and lie here. Okay, in this here it will not stop here, and by some verification it will be credited to a debtor account. Okay, so this is a Swift code. Swift code is nothing but big code also, business identification code, some call as bank identification code as well, both has the same meaning here. Okay, till now clear here? And there is a less possibility that this kind of discussions happens in any client interview. This is only for your knowledge purpose, but this Swift code is widely going to use in each and every payment of the world now. For example, if you are going to learn ISO 222 now, okay, I told you, we discussed also in past, whenever you are using ISO 222 any messages, each and every message in the world is nothing but a Swift message only, Swift code. This is Swift code. Okay, this is a Swift code, this is a Swift code. Okay, so that's why the Swift code is so important, that receiver and sender bank. So this is instructing agent. Okay, we are going to learn this, what is instructing agent, instructed agent, in the coming session of when we are learning ISO 222. But currently this is okay, this is a sender bank, Rizwan bank something. Okay, RZ, I don't know what is the pronunciation. This is a bank who is sending the payment, and this is the bank, sorry, this is the bank sending payment from ING some country, and this is a receiving of the payment. So we can understand from here that there is a sending bank and this is a receiving bank here. Okay, so we can conclude from here. See here as well, each and every payment has some significance in that of big here, so we can assume from that who is sending bank, who is receiving bank. Okay, so here is the instructing agents are involved here, so there are three bigs are involved here. So like this we are going to learn this thing in detail way, how this is now next is what is Swift rules and guidelines. Okay, okay, give me a second only. Okay, Swift, whenever we are saying the Swift, okay, Swift has been written their own rules and guidelines that they have to follow for doing any transaction. So there are such thousands of rules they have written. So basis of that, each and every payment, how to transit, how to move, how to settle, that is the guideline based on that. So for that analysis, Swift has given you a many, you can say many rules and regulation part of it. Okay, this is, so for example, if you are sending a payment, if 55A is present, then both, okay, don't worry about now. If you don't understand what is this rules and regulation, I'm going to take in a detailed way, but I'm just trying to understand what is the Swift rules are there. Okay, that's why I'm taking this example. Okay, so this is called a Swift rule. For example, 55A, this is called 52A, 53, 55. We are going to learn in detail what exactly these three terminologies are there. If 55A is present, then 53A and 54A must be present or error will display. Okay, this is one of the Swift rule is there. So what is this Swift rule, how this is derived, I'm going to take in detailed way, don't worry on that part. But now currently it is that 53 is a sender, okay, correspondent, 54 is a receiver's correspondent. So like this, these are the correspondence. Okay, so if you want, I can take you quickly one rule book for you, so you can understand what, how exactly this is. What are the Swift rules, Swift and guidelines. Okay, so that's for example, I'm opening one PAX 8 message here. Okay, This is HTTP package message. By the way guys, we are not learning this PDF now. I am just giving an explanation that what is the Swift rules are there. Okay, for that only I am just showing this diagram. Otherwise don't get confused that we already started discussing on this part. No. Okay, for example here these are the Swift rules. Okay, I will give you the one good one, which is okay, copy duplicate and take. Oh, it must be considered using element. If copy duplicate is present, then it must be present error handling. If we are sending a payment, okay, and in that payment is it's a copy of duplicate payment is there, then we should highlight this kind of error in your text log. Okay, or any simple one. If group header total interbank settlement amount is present, then all occurrence of a credit transformation interbank must have the same currency. Okay, so whenever you're sending a payment, right, in that same mention that if total interbank settlement amount is rule is there, then it should have same currency. If it is not same currency, then it will throw this error. So like this there are hundreds of rules and regulations are written by Swift for sending and receiving payment. So that is whenever you are debugging a payment, right, not at the initial level, but especially when you are working on debugging a payment, if any payment fail in the productions, or when you are running a use cases, some people I know some people has to investigate on using the unique boxes. You have to derive the payment, then check line by line that where is your payment line. So in that cases this error will help you that okay, what is current issue in my payment and how it can be solved. So this is a Swift rule. So like this there are thousands of rules written by the Swift. So why I explain you these things, because we have this PDF here which is mentioning what is the Swift rules here. Okay, there is another rules as well. Okay, this is the rules, but there is one more common rule. Whenever we are learning MT103 and MT202 cover, at that time when we are sending 202 cover, at that time MT103 also we are sending as a cover payment. Okay, we are going to learn this as well, but just for information I am sharing now. So there is a field 20. So field 20 from MT103 should map with field 21 of MT202 cover. So what is this? This is like a foreign key. If you are using SQL, right? When what happened, primary key and foreign key. So primary key, you are going to join two tables together. So which table? Normally I think primary key only, right? By the primary key only, or foreign key, you are going to join two tables. So here also that two payments of MT103 and 202 get joined by using this field 20 reference. This is called field 20 reference. So that we can use it for joining this two payment here, MT202 cover and MT103. So if I have handy example, I can show you that also. Yesterday we have discussed. Okay, for example here, this is field 20 of MT103. Okay, so MT103 has field reference 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So this is going to match with, for example, this is 103 payment. Okay, now consider this is a 20, here is the 202, this is not 202, but consider same only 202. No, I will just show you, instead of we imagine, I will show you how it can be written down. Sorry. This will help you when you are learning MT202 cover payment. Okay, this is a sample MT103. So now we are saying mention that whenever field 20 is there, this field 20 is going to map with MT202 cover. So how it will be look like? It will look like this. Instead of 2103 here, it will be 202, just for imagination. Okay, just for quick learning, MT here 202 here, and here field 20 will be there, and with that field 20 will be there, and with that field 21 you are going to replace it. So field 21 is again a new reference number, which is A B C D 1 2 3 4 5 6, but here is our common field 20. Okay, so now in MT103 this is field 20 reference number, identification number, and this field 21 here is going to match together, then only this payment is getting match. So we are going to learn this interview questions always ask on this. Can you describe the MT202 cover flow or PAX 009 cover flow? it is more value in the interview, especially in a business analyst interview. Okay, here in payments interview as well, this question always asks that can you describe the flow of MT202 cover. So that time we are going to discuss in detail this flow of MT202 cover. So why I explain you, I explain you because I want to show you that what is this rule. This rule mentioned that a cover method field 20 MO3 should match with field method MT202 cover. That's why I explained this thing. Okay, third is Swift guidelines says Swift market practice group. There is a group called PMPG, Payment Markets Practice Group. Rules writes the all rules and regulation for Swift. Okay, which is the independent body which is publish their rules and publish time to time. Okay, so in this page the more important field is that there are some rules written by Swift. Those are network validated tools. Okay, this is only, no need to remember all these things, we are going to learn in detail this only importance of this one. Okay, and there is the independent body PMPG. This is all theoretical part, there is no practical use of this when you are using this for now. Okay, so whenever we are doing payment, right, when you are doing end-to-end payment, there are three main characteristics of payment. We are sending a payment means message sending, clearing. Message sending means a message contain all the formats of the message of MT and MX. Then clearing, the country's individual clearing system, for example RBI in India, Target2 or Fedwire. So these systems will do clearing for this country, and settlement, both will do settlement. And there is one more part which is not low level, means reporting as well, but this is the two three things are important when you are doing the clearing system or payment system. Okay, so first one is messaging, which already we are going to discuss in coming session. Second part is clearing. Okay, what exactly clearing? Clearing means you are settling a payment, you are sending a payment between two banks. It is called netting. There are three types of this: bilateral netting, multilateral netting, and netting. Okay, so here we can understand from this example that what exactly netting. So here consider two individuals, not individual, to consider two banks here. Okay, so for example netting means what, bank A has to send, same example you can say, bank A has to want to send 7 million to bank B, and bank B want to send 5 million to bank A. So what happened in this case, we are going to transfer both the money and not netting we are doing. Okay, I want to say bank A has 7 billion and bank B has 5 million, so actual money transfer is 2 million from bank B to A, actual transfer. So what is bilateral netting here? A bank A has sent X money to bank B and bank B has sent to bank A. Two banks calculated between themselves and transfer happened. This as is called netting or offsetting. So ideally what happened here? Only we are transferring the 2 million here. Okay, we are not transferring bank 5 million and 7 million, which we discussed yesterday, right? Same, this is called netting concept. And in between two banks here RBI sits, or clearing system of the country sits, who do the calculation to which how many which amount which has to send. So this is a clearing system will sit here. So this is a very basic concept of netting. Normally this kind of discussions you are going to write a use cases rarely for this one, but this is important that you should know what is netting, what is offsetting. Netting and offsetting, what, for example, we normally do in friends only, right? Same thing. Okay, somebody has borrowed 1000 rupees from you, and if you borrow 500 from him, so only have to net settle by 500 only. Will you do like this? Okay, send me 1000 again and I will give you 500 again. Will not do that. Will not do like this, right? We only do the difference of calculation we send. So that is called a netting here. So don't consider a very small concept netting here, because the huge amounts are transferred between the two banks each of the day as a clearing settlement at the end of the day. So these amounts are such a large amount, millions and millions. So RBI will do the calculation part here, or the other countries regulation system which is doing. Okay, this is called your bilateral netting, netting a bilateral netting between two banks. Okay, clear here, Priya? In a
Yes, yes.
Okay, in a same way here there is a concept called multilateral clearing. Okay, clearing house comes at a clearing house in the between and other banks are joined with them. So this is the actual picture in the world now. Each country has one clearing house, for example EBA or Target2 in Europe, RBI in India, who do all this calculation, and it's asked central bank to actual send the amount by giving the instructions. So for example now Bank A want to send £1,000 to bank B. Oh, sorry, I will do calculation Indian now. Bank A want to send bank B ₹1,000. Okay, I'm just giving a for example ₹1,000. It's a big amount. Then bank A also has to send bank G ₹10,000. Then bank C has to send bank B ₹1,000. So such a complex calculation happened throughout the day. So what happened at the end of the day? This clearing house means RBI. What will do? Okay, I done all the calculation. At the end, bank A, please send to bank G your ₹500. Bank B send to bank E ₹200. Bank C send to bank B depending. And all this movement, what exactly to send whom? It will send to a central system which is called RBI only. This is RBI's one part clearing house, the RBI. Then RBI will send instruction to bank A, bank B and bank E to do this transaction individually. Or there is a two concept, either they can instruct bank, individual bank to do transaction, or they're having a suspense account in every banks with Reserve Bank of India, so they can settle by settlement system as well directly. But normally which we saw that they give instruction to each bank to transfer the money from bank A to bank G, bank G to bank C. Okay, so this is the same concept like your bilateral netting, but only here there are multiple banks here, so multilateral netting. Okay, so this is a concept of netting here we understood now. Payment system, clearing house, clearing and settlement, CSM. Clearing and now we are introducing a new word here, clearing and settlement, CSM. So we have to, there is one question always asked that can you explain the CSM of any countries. So in that case, how do we going to do explanation? I will tell you in the coming session. There is a big picture on that, big diagram is there. We have to explain that diagram. Always in interview, this kind of question I can ask us. Can you highlight the CSM of any country? How CSM happen? How payment and clearing happen? Okay, that time. So actual money movement also done by the it is called settlement, and it is called clearing. Calculating of the process called clearing, and actual money movement is called settlement. So it's called CSM. C for clearing, settlement for settling the money. Okay, so this is a multilateral clearing. Okay, so there is another concept called real time gross settlement. Now we have learned here that netting is happen here. Okay, netting happen and the end of the day, or between the batches the calculation. But what happen the real time gross settlement? In real time gross settlement, whatever the amount we have asked or we spend, same time the same amount has to be passed. There is no netting happen between it. Okay, so this is called real time gross settlement, RTGS. So normally all the payments which Indian have, we are sending for individual, right? So they are RTGS payments only. We are not doing like that. Okay, okay, I have, for example, Priya has to send me ₹1,000 and Prashant has to send her ₹700. So do only ₹300 calculation. No, that we are not doing. So that's why we is called real time gross settlement. So RTGS is very much famous in India. So we are doing the real time gross settlement. It's urgent and very high value payment transfer system happen here. So clearing is reconciling and netting process. Okay, clearing of meaning is reconciling and netting process. Settlement is actual mechanism of moving the funds between the two accounts or other account. Okay, here only we discuss settlement means this body will send the payment, this body will do the netting and clearing. Okay, how much money has to send, he will how much money has to be sent, clearing house will decide, and actual movement will done by the settlement system of the country. Okay, so this is called real time gross settlements, means we are not doing netting. Whatever the money has to be, for example, Reliance Industries here is sending 7 million to, this is Tata Birla Group for example. So it will be sent by Reliance Bank by country's CSM to the for example Tata's bank here, and it will receive by Tata Communications or Tata Telecommunication, anyone. Okay, like this. And in this and if they want to settle their, they can send 2 million as well, but here we are learning RTGS payment, right? And Tata want to send 5 million, so they can send 5 million. There is no netting happen here. So this concept is called real time gross settlement, RTGS, gross settlement. Okay, this will help us to understand RTGS payment. Not really we are going to help us, but these concepts are very crucial. If you are writing a use cases, right, that time it will help you to understand netting and risk goes to. But the most of the times you are going to work with this kind of messages only, which are ISO 222 messages, and in detailing on that. Okay, we are going to learn these things in detailed way. Okay, real time final settlement I am going to discuss with you once I am over of this presentation. Okay, why I am saying this, this is some more crucial concept, and this is used in USA specifically and India specifically. Okay, money has been transferred and settlement has been done, and settlement has been also done. Okay, transaction everything is done and settlement done at the end. Okay, so that's why IMPS is very critical system. I will discuss with you later. Okay, now whenever this Swift has network is here, it's called SwiftNet. Already we discussed yesterday, and it is governed by a body called clearinghouse. Just now we discussed. So for example, there are n number of banks are here. The central bank is RBI here. So all these banks are connected together by a network that is called, this line is called Swift network, SwiftNet. Okay, this is a secured line and it is connected via central clearing house like RBI only. Okay. Enter communication from bank to CSM and vice versa is done by messaging. Here Swift come into the picture. Okay. So what happened till date? Till date we have learned that payment is moving from here, but what exactly how they are moving? They are moving from the network. It is called Swift network. Okay. So Swift never carries the fund, never settles the fund. One thing keep in mind, though we are saying Swift, no, Swift is never carrying any payment, it never carry any messages, it not carry any cash or something like that. It's only a transferring of messages from one country's regulation system to another. It is not doing any settlement, or sorry, it's not doing any transfer of payment, it only carry the messages. Okay, so if you somebody is saying that okay Swift is carrying payment, no, that's not concept. Swift is only having a messaging system which is sending and receiving payment. So this is okay, just another messaging system. See mention here, Swift just carrying a message carrier, it don't do settlement or clearing. Settlement and clearing is done by the country's own regulation system like RBI here in India, Fedwire in US for example. Okay, but what exactly has to be settled, that instruction will contain in the Swift messages. Okay, so based on that Swift messages we are going to learn, physically our concentration will be here only, we are going to learn this only, but this is a bifurcation now how it should be. So messages are paper, electronics, value, global standard. So whenever you're learning cards payment, that time you have to learn ISO 8553, 8583. That also going to migrate it by next year I believe in ISO 222. But now currently our scope is that we are going to learn Swift messages, which is MT and MX messages. MT means message text and MX. There is another messaging system also in regional way, which is called Fedwire, is using your Nacha payment. Okay, so that's also there, and UK payments, BACS payment as well. UK, so that's also one more payment system. So banks is banks automated clearing system, and Fedwire is Fedwire. So by the way, there is another system which is existing now as well, but they are less popular. It's called Fedwire. So in Fedwire there are messages type like 3000, 2000. I'm going to show you sometime with what exactly the message system look like, but this is not popular, very popular. Okay, so our main concentration is this because this is widely going to be used everywhere. So we are going to learn these things now. Okay, so what we have learned now, messaging system nothing but Swift. Message processing is done and processing and clearing done by chips in USA, for example. Step 1, step 2, Euro 1 in SEPA in European countries. Settlement is done by national settlement services. I see just an example, it is not full and final, this is only you are going to study, but just for example, settlement is done by the national settlement system in USA, and in clearing and some in some countries clearing and settlement done by the same entity only. So chaps in UK, Fedwire in USA, and RBI in India are both doing clearing and settlement. Okay, messaging processing and clearing chips in USA, only processing and clearing. Step 1, so some entities in USA has separate functions, some entity has same function. So settlement normally is done by the country's own regulation system that is predefined, which is going to be studied. So normally we have in India most of the projects are from the European zone and UK zone. There are less projects from the USA, but gradually like ISO 220 we are moving, many banks are having the projects as well. So this is clearing system of settlement system. Okay. Yesterday we already discussed about nostro and vostro account concept. Nostro and vostro concept in detail we have studied, and mirroring account, um, for example, in mirroring account, the money which is stored in USD, right, which is stored in, for example, 1000, we have we are maintaining currency. HDFC Bank India is INR. The same currency is maintained in nostro account of HDFC Bank in London in Citibank. It is called its nostro account is nostro account. It contains USD, for not USD, pound, but the mirror image of that pound is there in Indian Bank as well. That is not actually this virtual existence of that. So that is called mirroring account. Mean whatever balance is there, same balance can reflect here, but that only for bank's reference. So it's called mirroring concept. We are not going to actually move the money for that, but at least for calculations and valuations and verification purpose, it will do that. So that concept is called mirroring of account. There is another concept called suspense account. So we are going to study suspense account when we once we have that suspense account also in our list. Okay, so this is nostro, vostro and mirror account. Already we have studied in lot about this one, so I'm not repeating once again. In first presentation we have just learned this. Okay, so from here our main journey will start, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So we are going to learn specifically messages which is called categories. Now we are going to learn empty messages. Messages means empty, means here we are carrying person to person, not person to bank. Anyway, the payment is going to route it to bank only, but the initiating of payment is a person and receiving is a person. Okay, or a corporate. Okay, not bank via banks only, but initiator is a entity or person or a corporate here. So those messages where initiating is done by a person, it is called category 1 messages. When either organizer payment or ultimately beneficiary is retail customer or corporate series 1, okay, the message is called MT103 1 to 1. Okay, it's called MT103 messages or MT1 series. So for example, you are using internet banking, mobile banking, so you're initiating payment or UPI payment, right? You're initiating payment yourself, though your bank is processing that, but the payment is initiated by you. So this is called category 1 message. Okay, another example is that bank is doing settlement between two banks at the end of the day or between the as per the batches. So that settlement happened between two banks, between two financial institution. It is called category 2 messages, which is MT202, 202 cover, 2095. So those are the sorry, those are the category 2 messages. So category 1 is between two entities, between two originators, between two persons, corporate, and category 2 is between bank to bank. So instead of using bank, I will say financial institution, because there are many corporates which are not bank, but still they are using the category 2 messages. So here is category 1 and category 2. Clear here? Very similar concept, right? We are going to learn this all this message in detail. What is MT101, MT202, MT202? So this concept we are going to learn in a detailed manner. Another one
Just
is, go ahead.
a small, no, just a small clarifications. You were referring to a Fed, right? Which is connected to SwiftNet
Mm-hmm.
of doing a message transmission protocol. So you can cross check whether my understanding is right. Fed service domestic payments
Okay.
are not connected to Swift network. It's a Fedline connectivity. The only domestic country at this moment is not connected to Swift. That is one. The second is when you are discussing about the mirror account, right?
Hmm.
Mirror account is something, an account. For an example, if we are seeing a Nostro account,
Hmm.
an account with is our account with someone else, right?
Right.
That's a Nostro account. And in our books, we see it in a reverse way. That is a mirror account. We call this as a Vostro, right? For them, it is a Nostro. Am I right? It would be in
Uh,
a reverse way.
no, Nostro and Vostro, you're correct. The way from which country you're looking into account, that represent Nostro or Vostro. But
Correct.
the mirroring concept is that the same currency, it is not going to use it. For example, 1000 rupees. Okay, I'm just giving an example. person A from India has have opened the account in person B in UK, okay, in Citibank in UK. So here he here they have £1,000 they have saved in Citibank UK. So what happens?
Mm.
Citibank UK £1,000, it is mirror as good as same in India in £1,000. But actually
Correct.
in India we cannot save the money in INR. So sorry in pound. So that's why it's called mirroring.
Correct.
That's why it's called mirroring concept. But when you saying Vostro account, it is just looking how you are looking into that. Okay, so there are
So the for the liquidity
virtually two.
purpose, correct. For the liquidity purpose, okay, what happens, right? When we are doing domestic transactions
Mm-hmm.
or a cross-border transaction, the bank maintains a mirror account. The mirror account, it's something reflects how much fund is expected to come, how much fund is going out of our system. It reads the message, outbound correspondence and inbound correspondence, and flag the status in the clearing transit account, saying that these are the amounts that we are expecting, these are the amounts which we are sending out. But the actual books, right? With we when we are having an account with, for an example, mirror account is something, it is applicable to a banks only, not like an individual customers like us. So Nostro account holder, it has a reverse. For an example, if it is showing a debit in the clearing and transit account, in our books it shows as a credit. Maybe you can cross check whether my
Yeah,
understanding,
definitely,
because
definitely. I will do it, cross check. But
usually
normally,
it is a
the good point is that you said bank maintain the mirroring account, not an individual one. That's a correct statement is here.
exactly,
Yeah, bank not
exactly. Yes.
bank no bank individual maintains the Nostro and Vosto account, okay. But the bank and even the
Uh,
Nostro and Vosto not individual person maintain, it's bank only maintain,
exactly.
right?
It's
Yeah,
bank only. So
bank only
mirror
maintain. So
account for bank only. So
bank
Vostro
only.
account holder, someone is holding an account with us. For them, it is a
Hmm.
Nostro. For
Right.
so
For so.
Vostro mirror account would be reverse. For an example, if he does debit, for us it is a credit. Sorry, for him it is a credit.
Yes, that's the same concept. Okay.
So that they know how much fund is moving from here. Basically, to maintain a uh, balance to handle the inflow and outflow of the transaction. It should
Agreed.
not go in a overdraft facility.
Got it, got it. No, it's the same thing. It's almost same
Yeah,
thing, but only I'm
yeah,
saying it's a maintaining whether a pound or use currency maintain.
correct,
Okay, okay,
correct.
fine. So next we are going to discuss. Already we have discussed what is Swift code, okay, and what is MT and MX standard messages. So not repeating. We are going to learn IMT messages, which is ISO 15022, ISO 222. So ISO is again an independent body which is writing all the messages for your Swift network. Okay, so this is called international independent body like PMPG, package practice payment group. ISO also independent body which writing the groups. There is another which we are going to learn. We are going to learn MT messages 1, series 2, series 3, and series 9 as well. 5 we are not learning. There are no importance of 5 9 for trade messages. So we are learning
Trade is
one.
related to 7. Trade
E,
is related to 7, not a 5.
trade is related to 5 message only, right? Series 5 only.
7, 7.
Are you sure?
You are referring to a LC, right?
Yes, you are right. But what is 5 then? Trade messages is shift and it is 7. Okay.
4 and 5 are related to cash, I guess. I remember some long time back, but I'm not sure. We need to cross check once again.
Yes. Because this I am not learning as well. I don't have any projects also for this one. So,
Ah, yeah.
so trade
It's related to security markets is for 5.
security messages. Okay. Security messages.
Capital market.
Yeah, got it. Got it. Security messages. Okay. Fine. Anyway, we are not going to learn that as well. So series 1, series 2 and series 9. Okay, I will just remove this part as it is not trade, it's a security message. Trade and security. Okay, the word is think trade and security, that's why it's combined together. Anyway, so So when we are learning this message, okay, I have separate presentation for this, how we are going to write down this secret